Bitcoin is one of a number of so-called cryptocurrencies. Unlike the notes in your pocket, it largely exists online and isn't printed by governments or traditional banks.
You store Bitcoin in a digital wallet and it can be used to pay for all sorts of goods and services online. And some businesses accept payment in Bitcoin too, like this soup restaurant here in Old Street, which also has its own Bitcoin cash point.
There is an advantage, and that's lower transaction fees. If you compare the fees of accepting Bitcoin compared to credit card fees, which, especially if it's Amex, can be very high. It's quite nice being, the underdog against the banking system.
Until now, people have been able to buy and sell Bitcoin largely anonymously. So apart from just buying your lunch with it, police say it could be used on a much bigger scale for money laundering by criminals. Now the Treasury wants to regulate Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies.
Regulators need to look at consumer protection, and I think that's probably one of the issues that we really need to address and take seriously. There's no protections actually in Bitcoin. So if you go to the bank, you've got a £70,000 buffer that they will guarantee for you. No such thing with Bitcoin. You are effectively your own bank.
At the moment, the new regulations, which are expected to come into force by early next year, will focus on giving authorities greater oversight of cryptocurrencies under anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism legislation. The identities of Bitcoin users will no longer remain anonymous. But some say the government should go much further.
We ought to be leading the way in how we can apply this for social good as well as for economic gain by encouraging Bitcoin and that side of the cryptocurrencies, in that side of this new technology wave, by regulating it properly and allowing it to expand. We're actually doing ourselves a big favour as a country.
John Mann, a member of the Treasury Select Committee, says he wants to see the government carry out a much fuller inquiry into the potential use of alternative currencies for public services, and believes the government should look at how they and the underlying technology called blockchain could be used in future by authorities.
I'd like to see all health records put on the blockchain so that if an ambulance turns up, they've got immediate access to my records. But also property transactions were a really good one to be carried out on there. It would actually help get rid of fraud. It needs that push from government, and that would allow this whole new technology wave to dramatically expand.
The value of a single Bitcoin has increased 12-fold this year, from around £700 in January to around £8,000. Part of its charm, some argue, was the fact it wasn't part of the mainstream, but now government regulation could pave the way for that to change.